From the East Tennessee Weather Center, here's your morning weather update with meteorologist Mike Witcher.
It's been incredibly active and rainy here over the last 24 to 36 hours, and that trend continues. Actually, conditions will continue to deteriorate here over the next couple of days as Helene heads our way. So let's go ahead and talk about it. We do have a hurricane now associated with Helene. The wind sustained at 90 miles per hour, gusting to 115 miles per hour. It's tracking to the northeast at 12 miles per hour, and it could become a major hurricane here over the next 24 hours. Right there, working its way towards the Big Bend of Florida, and then up into Georgia and into the Tennessee Valley. And that's what's going to bring us incredible wind and a lot more rain. So we are far from out of the woods. Hurricane and tropical storm warnings are painted from North Carolina all the way down to the Gulf Coast. We've got incredible amounts of rain that's going to be associated with this. So flood watches, warnings, flash flood warnings continue across much of the southeastern U.S. Now, as I mentioned, this is going to be insult to injury because now we're going to be talking more rain today, tonight, and through the day tomorrow, plus incredible amounts of wind as the storm system looks to hang strong as a tropical storm. So again, here at home, we've got the high wind watch painted for much of the valley locations. The higher elevations has a high wind warning now, where we could see winds in excess of 70 to even 80 miles per hour across the highest peaks. And that's going to cause wind damage. Trees are going to be down. Power outages are going to be anticipated. So make sure you have everything charged up. So when you put it all together, high wind watches, warnings, and tropical storm warnings for East Tennessee over into North Carolina. We will continue to talk about the extensive amounts of rain. So the National Weather Service has expanded the flood watch to encompass all of East Tennessee. And again, I kept the warnings on there and the flash flood warnings. That's going to be the story. So more rain, insult to injury. And look at the rainfall we've already seen over the last 2 days. The rain axis has been east of Interstate 75, where some areas have picked up anywhere from 2 to over 6 inches of rain. Not nearly as much across the western sections of East Tennessee, but that's going to be changing as all this moisture swings its way through. And so, yeah, river levels, creek levels are continuing to rise, and they will continue. So if you're joining us from Newport and Cotton County, the Pigeon River is expected to overflow its banks to moderate to maybe even major severe flooding stage at 11.5 feet. Current stage is now 5.5 feet. And also the French Broad River in Newport. So Newport, you're going to be under the gun for some localized flooding and flash flooding concerns. The flood stage for the French Broad is expected to climb to 15 feet, which is just 1 foot shy of moderate. So minor to moderate flooding for the French Broad, moderate to major flooding for the Pigeon River, all in Newport. So let's break it down now. Here's the storm system. We're going to get a little lull in the activity before it all starts to fill its way back in. And it does look like the eastern half of East Tennessee, the mountain counties, will get the majority of the rain. So expect the more rain showers throughout the day. Now, the winds aren't going to be too terribly strong today, but ponding, puddling, the ground is now saturated, and so the water doesn't have anywhere to go. But you can see by 7 o'clock tonight how this is all going to fill in for all of East Tennessee. So everybody's getting wet today. Everybody's getting wet tomorrow. Just through 7 o'clock tonight, we could see anywhere from, say, 2 to 3, 4 inches of rainfall for the mountain counties and upper East Tennessee. We're talking Unicoi, Johnson, Carter, even Greene County, Hawkins and Hancock County, and then a little bit less through 7 o'clock to the western sections of town. But as I mentioned, this will all continue to fill in. So even overnight tonight, more rain is going to continue to spill on in. That's going to create a mess for our Friday morning. So heavy rain, moderate to heavy rainfall overnight tonight into early Friday morning. So that's what it could look like as we get our Friday started. You add up the rainfall today and tonight, and you're going to see how this is really going to start to fill in. So by tomorrow morning, 24 hours from now, we're looking at over 1 to pockets of 3 to 4 inches of rainfall across town. And it doesn't stop there. The rain is going to continue throughout the day on Friday. Now, high temperatures will only be in the 70s throughout the day on Friday, but you can see how this rain will continue. Now, watch this. Here comes the center of circulation of Helene moving its way through East Tennessee. Then the rain starts to relax. So through the day tomorrow, we'll start to see improving conditions when it comes to rainfall. But the wind is going to be the other side of the story. And we're talking about incredible amounts of wind with this system. So from now through Friday night, again, we're talking basically 2 to 4 plus inches of rainfall to continue to accumulate. That's just over the next 36 hours. Now let's talk wind. I showed you the big picture, but this is the story for us here at home. The winds are going to be relatively light throughout the day today, but as we get into the evening and overnight hours, here comes the wind field from Helene, and we'll stop the clock at 7 o'clock in the morning and look at the winds cranking across the town. These are wind gusts, so we are talking about winds. There's the center of circulation right there by 7 o'clock in the morning. So winds are going to be gusts, sustained 20, 30, 40, 50 miles per hour, gusting to 50, 60, 70, or even 80 miles per hour, especially across the higher elevations. That's the story here, and over into the mountain counties, you'll really see those winds. That's where the winds are going to be the strongest across the highest peaks of the Smokies. So please be safe. Again, as I mentioned, charge everything that you have, your tablets, your computers, make sure everything's up and ready to go, because the wind will cause power outages. Everybody's getting soaked today and tomorrow, but the good news is the rain begins to fade as we get into the upcoming weekend and the start of next week. Here's your temperature trend. More seasonable weather is on the way, which is good news to pass along. We'll have more sunshine over the weekend as well. So make sure you track all this information with the East Tennessee Weather app. We'll give you updates all day long today, not just on the app, but on social media, on YouTube, Roku TV, Amazon Fire, as I do have a 24-hour weather channel. And track the rain with the interactive radar. You can see futurecast rainfall. You can see, you can track the hurricane. You can track Helene right there from the East Tennessee Weather app. It's your one-stop shop for weather right here in East Tennessee. It's 100% free. It's all local all the time, but does travel wherever you go. Have a great day. Travel safely. Your next weather update's coming up at noon today. Check back in for updates.